Hey, Zach, we'll get meeting soon. I thought, man, there's a lot to show. So let me just kind of like prep you with a little bit of it. So in my office here, somebody walked the other day and asked, could I help her out with a website and get a pitch going? So just to give you an idea of how good GPT-4 is, I don't know if you've been using it. While she talked to me, I just started typing. So I said, write a business pitch for, and I asked her, what's your name, your credentials, what do you specialize in? Where do you work? You know, it was obvious. Works mainly with adults, but also sees adolescents. She takes insurance. She works through telehealth. See that bit right there? That's it. That's all she gave me. The response, title, and here it goes. Comprehensive, compassionate mental health care with her. Introduction. And it gives this cool bit for an introduction. Core services. It breaks down these core services. Benefits. And it goes through them, expert care, personalized approach. And it's speaking so well with a master's degree and dual licensure as a licensed mental health counselor and licensed professional clinical counselor. She brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to her practice. It's inventing this based on recognizing her credentials and what we're doing, okay? So then it goes on, personalized approach, flexibility, insurance accepted, adolescent services, and it concludes. And just to show you how good this stuff is, I don't know when you consider ever translating anything, say, into Spanish, but we get now translate it into Hebrew. And so I just did that for you real quick so you can get the idea. And so going through that, there's more to it. So I had it stopped. So now rewrite a shorter version in Hebrew for a 15-year-old boy who needs this sort of assistance. Okay? I had to just write a little bit there. And that way you can kind of see just how well the writing's coming out. Okay, I can't read it, but I'm quite sure it reads well because I've worked with other people in different languages and they've been really astonished. And one guy, for instance, came in and he was a house painter and he was the Mexican type, we paint your house, senor, kind of guy. And he said there are a lot of Asians in the neighborhood, so could we create copies of his pages in Cantonese and Mandarin? It's like, yeah, we can do that. We can make your pages look really good. So just to give you the idea, this is the quality of writing from a little bit of sensible input. And we built that stuff into our websites directly. So everything I show you about our websites is written with this engine. All right, let me walk you through a bunch of our website templates. They're really different these days. They're all very involved in their own ways. They go down quite a bit. They say whatever it is we want them to say, large, small, or otherwise. They can be as clean as we want or as involved. We have lots of websites. They all have some kind of dynamic effects. They're all pretty cool that way. They do a lot more than meets the eye because, like I said, there's a tremendous amount of monitoring stuff happening in the background. I got to fix that. That's a testimonial update. We just got done incorporating GPT-4 into testimonials so that we can create them on the sites. We can do facts, so we can create fact questions and fact answers to go with them immediately. Page like this with everything that's on it takes about 5 minutes to auto write itself. We don't write it. We just guide the initial writing and then let the page write itself. But at the same time we're doing that, see, we're doing 17 at the same time. So this page takes about, how long was that actually? Let me just kind of think. All right, the toss part of the page, the theme option settings part of the page would take about 5 minutes to write. And then the content of the page, that is just regular content. We haven't put images into the page contents yet. We'll do that later. These are all new sites. Anyway, that right there takes about 1.5 minutes, this right here. So the thing is that we can do 17 at the same time. So 17 websites. So the other thing, the font looks like it's really huge where, maybe we're wasting the space on the above the fold, but all the sites are different. And the reason it's so huge is because 3.5 would write short titles like that, maybe 2 lines. But GPT-4 wants to actually write smarter, better phrases, almost in spite of us. So we just simply need to downscale the font size. And that's easy because all the templates for this kind of a thing, wherever they use like a font of 70, we'll just change it to like a font of 40. And yeah, we can do that remotely like anything else on this website. If we want to rewrite through menu links, we could download all the menu links of all the websites at once and see them all. and we can ask GPT-4 to grammatically correct anything and then just fix it all and then run it back up to overwrite. It's a level of efficiency that's difficult to explain because it's not modeled off of anyone else's. I've never heard of anyone that had that. So here, just to kind of move along. And again, the goal is to create totally variant, user experiences on purpose, right? And so that's what we're doing here. These are really cool websites in their own ways, but they're very, very different experiences. They have their call outs and stuff, their click to calls, which obviously we should put phone numbers here, and we will. It's simple. Again, we can always replace phrasing like this in the buttons remotely very, very fast. All right, so I think you get the idea. You can decide just how big you want something like this to be. We can make this logo much smaller, but there you go. It's just, it's really interesting. All I want to say is that these templates are very different, okay? And they operate differently, but they all fill in automatically. We basically just create the rules and then say go. And we create these pages all of a sudden, and they read better than competitors can write them, okay? And so we can adjust them still. We've got tools where we can look at the web pages from a distance, and we can say, oh, I want to replace wherever it says this with that, all through all the pages of the sites. And it'll do it remotely, like 100 websites times 7 pages, 700 pages. It will check and make your text replacements in about 5 seconds per replacement. But you could put a whole list of replacements in if you actually knew what you wanted to do. And then you could have it just go through them all. All the click here links, wherever they are, click through to pages that are on the website. It's all there. And then we also have a single button we press on the outside that says go through all, 700 pages, and hyperlink anywhere in there that matches the menu names and make it, click through to the menu name, right? That kind of internal linking that Google does like. So let me just keep going, kind of give you just a glance through. This is one of those things that I was mentioning as a pop-up, and I put 2 on one site, a welcome pop-up and an exit pop-up. We would normally never do that, but I was showing off both pop-ups to the client so you could understand what it was all about. Let me just show you what I mean. So if I load the page in the first place, about 3 seconds later, we get what matches. See this? This is based on the page title. And again, forget about that. That's an exit module. This is based on the page title. The page title, as well as the H1 tag that corresponds to it, is related to what somebody would have clicked in Google, because that's what they saw in Google. So this is extremely familiar to them. They click the link in Google to get to the page, and then this loads, and it says the same thing that they clicked in Google. Okay, and so it continues with that theme, and then it gives one or more things that can happen right in this pop-up. So we could, for instance, we're on the video, we could watch the video, and it'll just play right here, right now. Okay, so while it's playing, my name is Dr. Laura Perry. For 3 minutes, I am not leaving the web page. By the way, there's coding to turn off related video links like that. REL equals 0, right, for related videos. So just got to update that. So we can have different things happen. And videos are pretty cool if it makes sense. But yeah, video, fact, go to the fact, download the patient guide. It's a PDF, and the setup instructions, get a refill, contact us with questions, whatever, call us now. So you might have links, and they'd be something like, for automotive locksmith help, click here. For residential, click here, commercial, click here, emergency, click here. Emergency would probably be up next to automotive, right? Just put them in the order you want. By the way, this stuff shows up fine on a mobile phone. It actually looks good on mobile. Now, this is a welcome pop-up. It happens about 3 seconds after the load. If people watch a video, that increases their time on page. If they watch a video for 3 minutes and then they still go through the page, guess what? We just raised the amount of time that they were on the page. The value of that is Google sees that. Google counts how long someone is on the page after they click the keyword. They count that. So one thing you like about when they call the phone number is they don't leave the page. So you can give them options. The other thing Google likes, because you can't just say, well, longer on the page means what? We keep making the page longer and longer to compete. In the old days, that's what everyone did. That's how you wound up with like very long sales letter pages and stuff like that, right? You made the page just as long as you possibly could. But the other, and all of these things are automatically generated. No humans wrote any words that you see here on any of these pages, and they're not based on the same formats. They don't follow the same rules. Every web page is writing differently within the bounds we gave it. But these actually work, and they actually click through to whatever page. I mean, everything's real. So now my point about this is that pop-ups add so much to clicks. Either somebody's spending more time on the page or they start clicking. The moment they click anything, you know what they could click? First thing, the close this tab. The moment that happens, that counts to Google as an engagement. That means the page has value because someone clicks something on the page. So now you're already up one over the competitors if they didn't have that. If they click the phone number 2, that's another engagement, right? If they see more, whatever that means, it's another engagement. If they choose from the I need automotive or emergency commercial or residential and they click that, that's an engagement. Give them reasons to click. Give them reasons to spend time on the page. Anything, either one of those. Now, in your case, it's mostly about clicks, right? Because people aren't really reading the pages so much, right? Okay, having said that, the other thing I wanted to say, of course, was the exit pop-ups. And that's the difference. Here's the welcome pop-up. Usually we choose one of the two. And the welcome pop-up does its job, pretty quickly. It fades in 3 seconds after the page loads. Exit pop-up is, say you didn't have a welcome pop-up. You land on the web page, it looks like that. You start doing whatever you're doing. And then if you go to leave, then there's the exit pop-up, right? That kind of gives the last chance or your best pitch. And again, it reminds them what they typed in Google, and it follows up. So maybe if they didn't find what they were looking for, as they go to exit, then they're reminded of what they typed, which is what they're interested in. And right there it closes with something very clear. See? By the way, those things we can remote control. I can have none activated on any of the websites and then cause this effect, complete with color schemes and whatever else, remotely. I never have to log into an admin panel to create 100 at once and have them all follow their own rules. They can swap between different videos I put into the list. They can have different places somebody could download something, or different links somebody could click on, different phone numbers somebody could call, different titles that pop up like this, for whatever the title was for the page that they, which is what they clicked on in Google. So we want that. So that's cool. That's all remote control, whether it's intro or whether it's exit, they operate remotely. Okay. So then the other thing I want to make a point about is that when you come down, I don't have it activated here. Let me go back one more time. See this? This is a call to action bar, right? So it's just always there. It can say anything. It can say call now, for assistance. It can say, check out our testimonials. It could be whatever you want. Browse our selection, fill in the form, whatever you want. Probably call now, right? That way, if they're reading and they get excited or they go, oh, that's about me. That's my problem. The phone number's right here. They don't have to go search for it, right? So that's cool. It just helps keep people crystal clear about where these things are. All right. I think you get the idea. We have tons of, these awesome layouts. It's not necessarily tons of themes, but it's done the right kind of way for Google to be interested. And like I say, the fonts are too large. They're easy enough to shorten up, and then they'll fit much better into the page. And then use of space, like big logos, can be made small. You know this. There's nothing new to tell you. This kind of thing is an odd placement, but that's because this would normally be smaller font. But anyway, it does what it's supposed to do. And so it gives people a chance to really focus. Some of these web pages are long, some are short. Some have more pages, some have fewer. They're just all different. And they operate however we want. Very simple idea of the form that pops up. Doesn't need buttons at all. It's just call now. It's got a phone number, and that can be bigger. And the only reason you don't see the phone number is it's run by global variables. All I have to do is mass upload the global variable list for all 100 websites remotely at once, and it'll fill in all the global variables for all of those websites according to that one page. Okay. And now, yeah, small fonts, we make them large, whatever, no big deal. But these are really nice sites. This is a different, here, drug and alcohol, just to show you, I mean, the effects can be so different as you get from one industry to another. So just kind of showing you how that goes, okay? You know, before and after sensation, right? Getting from you were feeling horrible to you're part of a community that helps you recover, you know. Yeah, and all these things, they darken the back page while they pop up, which is smart. And then the moment you click them off, you know, the page loads, right? It's really cool. I mean, there's every kind of normal effect you want. Really hot. Okay, see, you've seen enough of this. I mean, I could keep going and going and going, and I could go through lots of industries we've done these projects onto already, several. But I think you get the point, right? It's really cool. Okay, I'll break this one off.